Question that oftentimes comes up is how can I safely contact the authorities or a lawyer if I've been the victim of domestic violence? Domestic violence is a very serious problem in the state of Colorado, as it is in most states. There are specific laws in Colorado that address domestic violence. In fact, the legislature in Colorado changed the law recently to include domestic abuse as domestic violence, meaning that if there is emotional abuse, physical abuse, or even economic or financial abuse, then the court can recognize the level of abuse and take appropriate action. The best way to address domestic abuse in a safe manner is to contact TESSA here in Colorado Springs, which is the domestic violence counselors, and find out what the appropriate safeguards that need to be put in place before contacting authorities or while you're in the middle of a domestic violence situation. Of course, it's always wise that if you are a victim of domestic abuse, domestic violence, that you contact the police, dial 911, and report any kind of domestic violence in which you're a victim. Now, domestic violence is one of those factors in the law that is taken into account when a court has to decide appropriate parenting. So if you are the victim of domestic violence, or if you've been charged with a domestic violence crime, that fact can be used in determining what appropriate parenting should be. It's one of the factors in which the law says that the court has to consider whether or not a parent has been a perpetrator of domestic violence. The level of domestic violence and the kind of evidence that you wish to present as to domestic violence is something that you want to talk to a qualified lawyer about so that you could determine whether or not your evidence rises to the level that a judge would consider to be significant for a court to take appropriate action.